Unexpected things are the things that inspire you, Maya.
Except sleeping.
Except sleeping. And maybe even sleeping. You can dream up
I get
something.
inspired when I'm sleeping. Okay, well, thank you very much for being with us this morning, Doctor. We wish you all the very best from here, here from MTV Sports, with your launch, with the launch of this book and your future career as a writer as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Dr. Muna Singh's book, it will be launched tomorrow, as we mentioned, and it's something that you should really read because it's again something that's related to everybody and something that everyone can relate to. So we'll be back with another great segment, but do remember to like us on our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/goodmorningsrilanka. You can see it at the bottom of your screen. And you can also give us your feedback at mtvsports@maharaja.lk. So that's the email address you need to use if you want to tell us what you think about the show. And we always like to hear them give out their opinions on the show, right, Vasam?
Yes, exactly. So let's go for a short commercial break, Amaya, and let's get right back. And this time we're going to be talking about rugby. Stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome back to the final segment of Good Morning Sri Lanka on a Friday morning. Yes, of course, you're with me, Vasam, tuned into MTV Sports and with my co-host Amaya. And of course, like I said, we'll be talking a little bit about rugby and we'll be focusing our attention towards two old Antonians. Though I say two old Antonians means they're past Antonians, they don't really look that old. Two handsome gentlemen actually. So Amaya, shall we discuss what this is all about?
And we have with us here Mr. Nirmal Fernando and Mr. Subodha Vijaysurya. So good morning, welcome to the show. You're here to speak about an exciting new event, actually one of a kind in Sri Lanka so far, the Antonians Rugby Carnival. And that's happening tomorrow, isn't it?
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about what this event is.
Well, the Antonian Rugby Carnival was, it started back in 2012. That was last year, and this was initiated by a group of old Antonians who passed rugby rights, who wanted to get together all the past rugby rights as well as the other old boys to support to develop rugby at college. And that worked out really well. In the first edition we had over 2,000 old Antonians and their families, and they had all of them had a good time. And it was a really memorable event.
I see.
This time,
yeah, before we get into the event as such, let's try to get an understanding of what the objectives are behind this carnival. And also I was told that this was done through the Antonians Rugby Trust Fund.
Yes, now the main object of this event is to bring together all the past alumni of St. Anthony's Candy and also to get their families to have a good time. I mean, we just want to let the ladies know it's not just the marriage side of things of marrying an Antonia. There's a fun side of things as well. So we just want to do.
So there are privileges with marrying an Antonia.
there's a lot.
marketing yourself there very nicely.
And so we have lined up a lot of events, even for the ladies as well as the kids, which Subodha will talk about. And it will be a fun-filled evening. From last year to this year, we have made a lot of fine-tunings and we have made a lot of value additions. So it's going to get better this year.
And you are the secretary of this event, am I not?
Yes, the first edition I was secretary, and God decided to reappoint me.
So once upon a time you went out there and you did a fantastic job with the carnival, and they decided to land you with you all over again.
Yeah, I always ask myself, why me?
Probably because you've been doing your job well.
I certainly hope so.
Alright, and we hope that tomorrow's event will be just as successful as last year's, or even more actually, because you've made, let's talk about some of the tweaking and the value addition that you've done for this year as opposed to last year.
Well, we have brought in a lot of new items, like for example, the previous year we did not have a fireworks display, and this year we are going to have quite a long fireworks display.
I see.
And also live music by a very popular band in Sri Lanka, and it will be also lots of kids activities. It's an atmosphere where the whole family can enjoy, not
So
just the
Subodha, why not
hobbies.
tell us a little bit about it? I understand that you are in charge of all the entertainment for the events. These are the privileges, I'm guessing, which the wives and the kids and stuff can enjoy.
Yeah, spot on. But okay, let me put it like this. Now, the school has been in existence for well over 150 years, and we have a unique culture and shared values, which is passed from generation to the other generation. So actually, we are all lit up and fiery Antonians. Yes, it's true, and we want this tradition and culture to continue in the years to come. So in a nutshell, by default, we are a unique family, old past Antonians as well as present Antonians. So we want this family to bond with the extended families, the siblings, and to synchronize well, so that the relationships would grow from strength to strength, and the extended families would always feel, oh yeah, then that's it, this is what these guys are. So we want to pass that message on to the extended families. So we have lined up a lot of activities. The kiddies area is a big attraction in an event like this, and we have hired good professionals for this event, and we have lined up very popular activities such as the magic shows, face painting, mascots performing, the popular cartoon characters, and this balloon modeling,
So many things to attract the kids.
so many popular things to attract the kids and keep them occupied, so that they won't be left out of the fun.
And also in their parents' minds, they're going to have a little bit of ease, having a little bit of fun during the event as well.
Yes, and there are so many gifts that have been lined up for the kids. There are some games, and for the parents, where they will be given valuable gifts by our sponsors. So it's going to be a free-loaded package for the kiddies and the moms, basically.
I see.
The reason why we included more activities into the kiddies area was not to bore the moms and the kids watching the old man carrying the rugby ball.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure the kids will love watching their fathers play, because most of them wouldn't have seen their fathers playing in school.
I'm sure, and there are some real legends who has left their mark on the rugby scene in Sri Lanka, and most of them will be in action.
I see.
For example, we got the longest serving Sri Lankan captain,
I see.
produced by St. Anthony's, and we have past president of the Sri Lanka Rugby Union, past few captains of this national team, and right now we have 3 young Antonians representing Sri Lanka in the Asian tournament played in Taipei.
I see.
So
actually getting into the game, if I'm to ask you now, an event like this, how is it going to help St. Anthony's Rugby?
well, we are going to use this as a launching pad for the next season, because I'm sure the viewers must be aware that schools rugby has become quite commercialized, and it has become a very expensive affair, and our budget goes up to 7 digits. And I won't want to go into details. So it's a heavy toll on the college. So we want to support the college by doing the funding and helping out develop the infrastructure, and as a result of forming the ARTF, the Antony's Rugby Trust Fund, we have been able to construct our own rugby ground inside the college. For nearly 100 years, the rugby and cricket was practiced in the same ground, and now we have our own rugby ground and we have our own gymnasium. So little by little the infrastructure is developing, and results should be there within the next decade.
I see. And also you mentioned that there were so many legends that left college, and I'm sure the present school kids will also be there at the carnival, right?
Yes.
And all the rugby players, and I'm sure they'll have a chance to meet some of these old boys who have been playing, some of these old boys. I'm sure from generations to generations there are stories told about them.
True, there's a lot of legends that have been spoken about.
Some good Antonian rugby history.
Yes, and personally I have seen some of those legends playing club rugby, but the kids who are growing up these days, the junior ruggerites, they wouldn't have had a glimpse of the heroes we are talking about. So we want them to have the privilege of seeing them.
I see. Why don't we have a look at your poster as well, gentlemen? If you could just hold it to the camera.
This is our event logo, and this is going to be our logo going forward. And
So this, because you want to actually launch the Antonians Rugby Carnival as a brand. isn't
Exactly,
it?
you got it.
From
You
this,
got it, Amaya.
Yes.
This Antonian Rugby Carnival logo is the logo which is represented here, and it is
Very
a part and parcel of the Antonian Rugby Trust Fund. So from this year onwards, this logo will be branded as a brand, and the next carnivals will be conducted under the same theme, and the teams are franchised just like the IPL.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we
And
based it on that.
I'm sure like there are some logos underneath that as
Yeah,
well.
We model it on the IPL, and
So these
we
are
have
the
franchise.
these are the
Panthera, Blue
franchise.
Magpie,
Yeah.
so many.
We
So
have
these are the
Pantheras,
franchise.
Magpies, Beaches, Crested
So
Hawks,
these are different teams.
8 different teams, and we
Wow.
are playing these under 2 different age groups, the over-40s and the under-40s.
If you could just elaborate a little bit about this whole system of auctioning players and forming the teams together, if you can give us a little understanding about
Well, first of all, what we did was we split this tournament into 2 categories, over 40 and under 40, because if a 45-year-old plays against a 25-year-old, it's a total mismatch. And even the under 40s, we have mixed up all of them and combined all of them and made balanced teams.
So which category would you gentlemen be playing?
Both of us still under 40.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay,
Go on,
please
go on.
continue. Yeah.
So we have franchised 8 teams, and we base this on the IPL model, and we have already sold the teams. There are team owners. All past OBA batches have taken over the ownership of teams. So it will be a mix of youngsters and veterans, and that's be a good experience for the youngsters. There's quite a lot of guys who are still playing edition club rugby, and all of them will be on display. Some Sri Lanka players,
I see.
and the over 40s will have those legends which I
Mentioned
told you
earlier.
about. Yeah.
Yes,
Actually,
of course.
just to mention, last time we had a very interesting game. The past, ex-Sri Lanka players versus the present players. That was a very interesting game where all the legends that we've been talking about, they took part against the school side which was playing that year. So that was a very fantastic event, and we hope to continue it this year as well if the time permits.
I see, of course, but I'm sure an event of this magnitude requires a lot of funding as well. So I'm sure that where do you get the support from, and how did you manage to fund all of these activities?
Actually, it was not that difficult with the rich heritage and the goodwill and the positioning of the school. So there were so many sponsors who came up when we came up with this idea, and we have the backing of so many corporates to continue this.
And also when
project.
they say Antonians rugby, I'm sure a lot of people will come forward to help
Exactly.
out.
Yes, and there's a lot of past old Antonians in the corporate world who are top executives in the corporate world, and they are very helpful.
I see.
And they have volunteered to sponsor this event, so we are extremely grateful to them for their
So
generosity.
this carnival will take place tomorrow
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. starting at 2 p.m. at the CRNFC.
at CRNFC, and which goes to my next question: why Colombo?
Well, I would say though we are from Kandy, our strength lies in Colombo, because most of our top level professionals and the top class executives, they are based in Colombo, and most of their children are studying in leading schools in Colombo, and some of them are still back in the good old hostel at the college,
Wow.
and
That's why you decided
that's why
to
we
base
decided
it
to
in
have it. But
Colombo.
it doesn't mean that we have neglected Kandy, but we'll be going back to Kandy maybe once we are able to develop this brand into a leading event.
But meanwhile, I'm sure that there must be a big contingent who are coming down from Kandy to Colombo for this event.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yes.
We have lined up 2 double-decker buses
Oh,
with proper
quite a
events.
party.
It's quite
It'll be
a party
on the way.
and all free of charge. And there'll be some buses coming from Kandy that is also provided free of charge for the young Antonians and their parents.
And you also happened to mention during the break actually that the entrance to the carnival is also free,
Yeah,
right?
the
It's
gates
free.
are open. It's